Hello and welcome to the Japan Expo 2016 hosted in France, where we are going to be talking about the Hiro Mashima interview that was taking place during this event. Now I'll be reading off the entire interview with you with my beautiful British voice. Now I hope you sit back and enjoy and listen to the man himself, Hiro Mashima, as what he had to say to a bunch of his fans. How did you first get introduced to manga, Hiro Mashima? Mashima replies, "It all started with my grandfather when I was little. He used to collect manga on the street. If people don't know, in Japan, they like to put their manga out into the trash heaps after they're finished using them. So he brought a bunch of them back to the house and made me read them, and I started like this." "And your passion for drawing arrived right after this moment?" Mashima replies, "It was from the moment I started to make my own characters that it felt like something in me that was born that day." "But didn't you say one day you could do anything but mangaka?" "Yes, of course. There were other jobs I wanted to do. When I read Sherlock Holmes when I was little, I wanted to become a detective. But..." As everyone proceeds to laugh with Hiro Mashima looking a bit embarrassed. "So what are your inspirations? The music, the movies you see, manga? What has influenced you the most?" Mashima, "My biggest influence is Dragon Ball when I was little." "But why precisely Dragon Ball? What inspired you in this manga?" Mashima, "Because Goku is super cool," as the audience applauses around the room and screams in hype. "Can you tell us how you work? How do you create a fairy tale chapter? It takes how long? How many assistants do you have? And also as well, to explain the process just a little." Mashima replies, "I'll explain how I spend 1 week. My week starts on Sunday, which is the day I reserve for my storyboards, which is the basis of the continuation of the chapter. On Monday, I make an editorial meeting with my editor based on the storyboard that I presented that day before. It is Monday I generally finish the storyboard after consultation with my editor. On Tuesday, I draw the sketches, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I proceed with inking the sketches. It remains Saturday, I still do work. I devote Saturdays to other work as well, and when I do not, it's normally my day off. But it's been a very, very long time since I have taken a day off work, as laughter is in the room presumes." "And your assistants follow the same pace as you?" "My assistants come the Wednesday that is currently doing the inking. 3, sometimes 4 days, depending on the workload." "And how many are there? What are they doing?" I have now 4 assistants. 2 who are responsible for backgrounds, and 2 who are responsible for finishing." "So what is your secret to keep this pacing? Like Lucy, you call your spirits to help you?" "How I do it is because I have all the support of my readers. It's my secret," as everyone proceeds to applause and clap in the audience. "Who is your favorite character and why?" "Actually, it depends. Certain moments it's not always the same person. It's quite simple, really. When I make a chapter in which I put the character forward more than others, generally that is my favorite character to focus on. This is the one I like the most. Currently in the publication in Japan, it's Lucy who's front, forward, and center at the moment, so it's Lucy who is my favorite character so far in the series. Speaking of Lucy, the female characters are really strong in this series. Why is it so important for you to have powerful female characters in your series?" "It's quite simple. I only have strong women around me," as shouts and applause in the room. "How do you manage to create so many charismatic characters?" The first thing, I think every character I've created is a little bit of me, a little bit my personality. For example, Natsu is me when I'm little, feels the influence of personality of Natsu within me. Lucy wants to be a novelist. That's the part of me that is an artist, and that is I express a lot. But sometimes I'm happy. I just want to be in a corner doing nothing and daydreaming. "This is what you want to do every Saturday afternoon." Mashima proceeds to laugh. "Yes, that's the show. I would love to do that." "Manga is a success in France and in other countries. How can you explain the success?" This is a topic we often discuss with the editorial staff because we would like to know as well. One wonders, but we feel that through the world there are many, many people who support the adventures of Lucy and Natsu. The fact is that all of them are trying to give their best to themselves, and we think that having characters who always give their best is perhaps one of the secrets of success around the world. "Is it because you also give your best throughout this manga as well?" Mashima replies in French, "Merci," as the audience applauds for his very botched French accent. "You came to France previously in 2009. Why come back this year?" "First thing about the fact that I came here several years ago is that I had such a warm welcome from my fans. I told myself that I had to come back someday." "Do you have a special memory that you had in France?" Actually, I can tell you a funny story. My first coming to France, I was not there for years, so I told myself it's impressive that I get to see the Mount Saint Michel. So I went to go and see it, and I was so excited, so alone in my euphoria when I went to gift shop to bring back a gift. I buy a gift that had no relation at all to the Mont Saint Michel. Like, it was rather a gift that came from England, as everyone laughs in the room. What's more, it was super heavy. And now you want to return and buy a real French gift. Yes, well on, it is my intention, as Hiro Mashima laughs. Do you have any idea of the gifts you want to buy? I have no precise idea at the moment, but if any of you have any advice, please don't hesitate to tell me what's a good gift to get. Fairy Tail now is celebrating 10 years of publication. How do you keep intact the desire of continuing this series? All I can tell you is because I know there are many readers who follow the adventures of Fairy Tail that I keep intact this desire. The characters have evolved so much during their time, and there are times when they hardly need me to advance the story, and sometimes I say to myself, oh yeah, Natsu gets to do this, and the characters have evolved, readers have grown up, and also as well the work grew by itself. Why do a time skip of 7 years? How did you get this idea? I wanted to mark this for the minds, a high point in the series, but mostly I wanted to surprise the readers here. It had a great idea for the time skip itself. 10 years of Fairy Tail, do you imagine that you could continue the series on for this long? Honestly, I told myself if I get 10 volumes, which is 2 years of publication in Japan, I would be already very happy. Yes indeed, the fact that everyone continues to enjoy Fairy Tail, I could not continue without it anyway. You have a great career ahead of you. Have you noticed changes in the manga industry? Best things when I started, the manga was not so well known in abroad, particularly in France, and in France today it's a huge success, and that's one of the myths of the changes around here. One feature of the editorial environment in Japan, we say, is that the environment is in crisis, and at the same time there are more and more young people who come and bring their storyboards in to show to the publishers. That's quite interesting, but it is a fact. You meet some of these new artists and mangakas, feel that some of them have a long career ahead of them. There are many. There are also like those who come from your country as well, and I got to do a drawing battle with them tomorrow, and I must not lose against them. What do you do in your free time? You play video games? Your hobbies? Basically, I listen to music, and I play a lot of the game recently, Overwatch, as everyone screams in the hall and applauds since everyone loves Overwatch, and I do all the time crush, referring to Reinhardt in the game. What is your favorite music genre? I do not know if this kind of music is popular in France, but something that like really fits me is punk rock, as screams in the room and Mashima proceeds to laugh. What would you do if a young person came to you and he showed you these storyboards? What advice would you give to them as a fellow mangaka? I'd like to give them the right advice that fits them, and what it would say to really finish the end of the idea. It's history. I would warm to the fact that they stopped in the middle of it and moved to something else. I would say keep going till the end of your story. And we are now going to move to the fans' questions that they gave to Hiro Mashima, and if you would like to see that video, then please go and click to the annotation above on the video there, so you can begin part 2 of what the fans had to say. Thank you very much for watching though. I hope you really enjoyed this, and if you really did enjoy the voices of me and love hearing me talk about Fairy Tail, then please hit subscribe at the end of the video. Really would appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching as always. I've been Savagezweipanda, and I hope to see you guys though next time.